And so, another year begins. I've always loved starting in Vegas. It reminds you that while this is a game, there are very real stakes. The city welcomes us, knowing that our cards have been shuffled and its chips have been stacked. Every year, the Pro Tour ups the ante, and this year will be no different. Here on tour, though, it can be easy to confuse a little bit of luck with good old-fashioned skill. So whether this season is a redemption arc, a return to form, or a continuation of 2022, you know these guys plan to bring the noise, the finesse, the boom sauce to 2023. But a successful season can mean different things, depending on who you talk to. A first Pro Tour win, a US championship, or another world title. So, who are you placing your bet on? The up-and-comers or the vets? The dark horse or the safe bet? Will Vegas deal us the same hand twice? Or is something new in the cards this year? Whatever happens, you know JomezPro will be right here to bring you the story. Both stories.
Hello and welcome to the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova. You are watching round one coverage on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We're back for another season on JomezPro. Nate Sexton, Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Koling.
We are going to be bringing you a cold, windy day here in Sin City. We are playing the Millennium course. This year we are playing only two courses, Millennium and Innova. And we are going to alternate those two courses for 4 rounds.
Par 69 today, so we're going to have to get after it. Like you said, windy days are in a plethora, it seems like, this week here in Vegas. Super cold. I didn't have a good time out there.
It was a very chilly starting round, and in practice, wind was getting up into 70-mile range in the evening time. It has been a pretty crazy week. We've even had a little bit of snow flurries here in Las Vegas. So we're taking a look at this card. We've got Garrett Gurthie, got Gannon Buhr, Papa Nate Sexton, former champion of this event, and another former champion of the event, Paul McBeth. We're going to see some good players to play this course, that's for sure. I mean, we're always going to see good players play all these courses, but starting the year off with a very solid card.
I feel like they don't make bad players anymore.
Yeah, I think
I beg to differ sometimes.
The factory
Paul.
went out of business. There's still a few bad players walking around. Don't get me wrong, but they don't make them anymore. Hole 1, par 3, 390 straight away. You got the OB on the right, some bad bunker trees on the left side. Every green out here super, super fast. What looks watered is painted. So everything is just as dry and skippy as everywhere else. So just be careful. It's all about the angles and the speed on this course can be really difficult to slow the disc down.
That paint, sometimes it just even feels slicker. It's so fast on this green, and it's a little bit sloped away from the tee. So if you get on this green with any angle, you're most likely going to skip and slide. And that's pretty decent checkup, but I mean, even that was about 35 feet of extra.
And it is a right to left tailwind here. So
Very hard to put the brakes on.
exactly.
Excited to see
Downhill.
Gannon play this event for sure. Coming off last year, the playoff loss, and now he is in a little bit of legal trouble. We saw him gambling in the open. That's clearly not allowed for a 17-year-old. So authorities looking into that, but disc golf not going to be an issue for the young man.
Garrett going the bomber route, the high hyzer cannot put the brakes on short, and that's the issue there. It just does not want to sit down. I believe that might be the new Juggernaut. Very overstable disc. That's hard to get to that 390 range, but not for Garrett.
Let's see if anybody can land short of this.
Oh, I did.
McBeth, that's where you want to hit to get the good result. Even, okay, that's 15 feet. These bullseye markers aren't the traditional 11 feet. They're going to be closer to 15 feet throughout the weekend.
Was that on accident or on purpose?
Oh, what an
Damn,
effort.
Good run.
I think that was an accident, honestly. I think that
Okay.
there was a little bit of confusion how far to set him out, but they just left him. Tough right to left win for you, Nate, on that bid to keep it the right height or almost the right height.
Yeah.
But dead center on the line, that was a really good starting effort for your first hole of the season.
Yeah, what I said immediately was, I'm really glad it hit the basket because it was starting to speed
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I mean, as it catches that wind, really hard to not let the putt get away from you. As we see Gannon here, I mean, that's a
That's the miss.
full-on run. Like,
Yeah.
he's not trying to lay that up, but the nose gets down, that headwind just slams it.
You think he was going for that?
I do.
Wow, so 15 feet is a little bit too far away for the headwind putt from McBeth on hole one. And
That one I think was a layup, but it did get up there high into the band. But Gannon was going for it.
And there's one thing to point out. On the tee, the flag was barely moving. And now it's
Yeah.
absolutely ripping. And this is what we dealt with all day. I mean, just a fluctuation of crazy wind gusts.
steadily windy the whole time, but the gusts were,
Yeah.
like you see right now, the flag was just whipping.
I mean, that's 25-30 right there.
Whole average right at par, 2.99. So there were quite a few birdies out there. But I mean, not an easy starting hole, I feel like, for a wide open shot.
Yeah, not really an easy second hole either. Despite the footage, you sort of feel like par 4 at 649 would play pretty easy. It is a wide open tee shot, but the basket is really well guarded. It's always windy. You kind of always feel a little awkward on the second shot, in my opinion.
The first 8 holes are going to be essentially all tailwind as well. So just know that as we look at the front 9 here, given an opportunity to go really, really big. And Gannon, that was a high shot. That's in a great spot. He's going to have a good angle to the pin, but if he clears that tree
Is
gonna
at
be
500, and he's
Yeah.
still screaming when he hits it 25 feet up.
I was going to say he's going to have an easy jump putt approach if that gets over it. This is more typical as far as the distance goes for most of these players, but heading over to the left side on that hillside makes the approach a little bit trickier.
I was surprised how much skip that got. I kind of liked it.
I was talking to Gannon yesterday, and he said he put on 25 pounds of muscle in the offseason.
And I think
25 pounds. He told me that.
I'm not the least bit surprised because he's taller for sure. I stood next to him a couple days before the event started, and he is full on taller than me now. And that was not the case in October. And he's 17. He's still growing. He's going to be 6'20" by the end of the season.
Yeah, he might. 25 pounds. I mean, I don't know where he's hiding it, but cool.
And he said he gained
Congratulations.
at least 50 to 100 feet on his drives.
I'm not the least bit surprised.
Wow.
We saw at the All-Star event, he was cooking some drives.
Yes, he was.
And that's a scary proposition.
Nice overstable approach disc here.
I find these types of approaches the most challenging. You never go to a course to practice a windy 180-footer that you have to stall over trees. This is just tournament experience only that goes into these.
My lies is terrible. I'm just trying to.
How are you going to get this down in time?
I mean, don't even bother filming the basket. It's nowhere near the basket. I
you're gonna
wish
have
it was.
Straight tailwind 35-footer, something like that? 40 maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's a very difficult run from that angle.
You know what? Here's somebody who's really trying to negate that crazy green right there. like that's a technical shot. He completely has the option to go over that stuff with a spike hyzer and something. And he opts for the touchy gap hit. That's
Stay under the wind.
yeah,
if you
that's
can.
pretty crazy.
This is nice and open as it really gets on this hole.
That's a pretty good approach. He's leaving himself a tailwind, about 18, 19 footer. So after that good run on hole 1, looks like you're going to give it a little go here again on 2, and just like 1 off the band.
Thanks, basket.
Another thanks basket. That's
I felt like
that's
both
all
of
the way
them-
at the bottom of the hill if that misses.
Yeah, I felt like both of them could have absolutely got away from me. That one does not get away from McBeth. Great birdie.
That is a solid 30-footer into the headwind.
And you know it's cold because it's plenty sunny, but we were all kind of keeping the jackets on just to keep the wind chill factor off of us.
It's already, a high of 46, I believe? And then you throw in the 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. I mean, it's just brutal.
Yeah. And we were talking to Gannon about shorts, and he said it was because you can't really, he's got a special order of the pants, 2840s.
2840. Oh my God.
Hole 3, par 3, 359. Little uphill at the end. OB on the right side. Flat to hyzer here is the play. Distance driver, put it out wide and let it swing in. Hopefully get enough distance to not be blocked by these trees just in front of the basket.
I feel your pain, Gannon, but the 2840 got me.
This looks wide enough. That's really what you want to do here is get it wide because those palm trees are really annoying.
Yeah, I've got to change my statement from the prior hole. This is not a headwind or a tailwind. This is a straight right to left. So this is one of the few holes where the direction does change in the first 8.
This looks too wide. Or really, okay, yeah, too wide.
Yeah.
Because even that's not what you're wanting.
No,
right
not quite.
Yeah, but he's given himself opportunities in the first 3, in the wind, inside the circle, all 3 shots. Paul's off to a good start.
Extremely wide also.
This could be in danger of this tree. It looks like it's going to hyzer in time. But that tree actually hangs over the one part of the sidewalk that is out of bounds.
25.
Found that one out the hard way.
Yeah, that sidewalk, I actually skipped on it, and it skipped
Left of the basket?
to New Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
Like it went over that house right there, or whatever that thing is.
I believe it is a house, yes.
Well, it could be an apartment. Condos. I don't know. I owned a bunch of them, so
Yeah,
I don't know why I would know that. I'm just kidding.
Paul for the birdie.
And is that? Okay.
And that's what's so frustrating about that right there is it's calm. And so you don't know if that's going to lift you and pull you into the basket. It's like,
Oh, or just spit you right back out.
yep. That. Yeah, well,
Boy.
that should make Paul feel better. Even if he would have made it, it wasn't sticking. So
I don't think seeing a spit out has ever made me feel better. I don't care who it was, especially not me, but
really,
oh, I've never had a
I've
spite.
never-
I've never had like a secretly spiteful enjoyment from watching someone spit out. It
I've
always
never not enjoyed it when you spit out.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I was pretty happy with the birdie.
Did you have one there?
Yeah.
It looks like the score is indicated that you have birdied the hole. Congratulations on that one.
Thanks for a second time.
No way.
That was tough.
That is not wind. That is just a misrelease, unfortunately. That will bring Garrett to even par now on the round.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 4, par 3, 300 feet, green, bunker, and then the Guardian bunker right before a very, very treacherous little green here. If you go too far, you're pretty much toast. A windy day, you really just want to park this. If not, you're probably laying up the putt. Otherwise, you're an absolute maniac.
That catcher's mitt is so short of the basket that if you land on the very front of it, you're gonna have a very tricky putt. You really want to slide to the top of that hill. But you don't want to get too close to the top of the hill because if you go over, there's nothing stopping you from going all the way down bottom. That was a little bit leaked to the right.
Oh, no.
This might
Look out.
find so many different OBs and somehow
Yeah.
avoids everything.
Barely cleared that first sand. A little wind bounce away, honestly, from a disaster for Paul.
Yeah, that's a mistake. We've never seen anyone
This
do
looks
that before.
a little wide to me. But look at that ground.
Yeah,
play. Very
and
good.
That is going to be,
Scary.
yeah, as scary as a tailwind putt from 28 feet can be. It's all danger behind the basket. Just needs to stay straight the whole way. If this starts the hyzer, yeah, that's gone. A little help from the palm tree, but I don't see Garrett running that uphill headwind putt. I think we're about to see a rare sight here.
We didn't like it, too.
A couple of years ago, I played with Josh Anthon, and he shanked it to that spot and just made the putt like he didn't care about anything.
And it's just so Josh Anthon.
From way back there. It was crazy.
Yeah. Even if Garrett wanted to run it, there's just, I mean, if you are left or right pin high on this hole and you're down the hill a little bit, you don't have a chance of making it. There's just guardians on either side that are so low that you can't even see the bottom of the cage. Okay, well, if you're going to spit out,
Yeah.
at least you get that on the next hole.
If you putt that hard, the band honestly could be friendlier because I think he's just bending that thing in and, you know, he's not taking no for an answer. And how is my drive this close?
What?
Wait.
I think
You
I hit
hated
that.
it.
I think I hit that tree.
Yeah, we didn't even
square.
see it on the catch cam.
I was expecting to be down all the way down, and somehow it wasn't. So
Those are great.
happy day.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Happy
You're
day.
a couple under now, and you've hit the band on the first two holes. You were very close to being 4 under.
Yeah, kind of.
In a very windy day. It's a stellar start. Leading the group.
Jerm, tell us about the hardest hole in disc golf.
Is this the hardest hole in disc golf?
I think so.
All right, hole 12 at Northwood Gold is a par 5, 1,200 feet. Now, this is one of the harder holes on this course for sure. It's a par 3, 470. It is the second hardest on this course. But you have this huge green in front that really makes a player to make a decision. Am I going for this or am I laying up short? There is basically a pretty steep slope right behind the pin, and there's actually OB that you can find if your disc hyzer's out left. This is decision time. Looks like, Nate, you're just going to be playing for the layup.
Nope.
With the tailwind, you've got a little bit of extra oomph. And you found your disc.
Yeah, I did. And then I threw it OB.
No way.
Weird, it went over. It definitely had the distance to get there. Oh, shoot.
A little bit more flip than I wanted. Distance was appropriate, but OB kind of left long of the basket.
Gannon getting that turn right, which is what you like, because if you don't get the distance, you're still safe for the green. But man, this is very well played. It's going to have a tough left to right putt from about 20 feet. A little too, wow. And that's,
Kind of the same shot as the last hole, honestly. Kind of like early turn low at it for McBeth. Sort of a strange miss.
I've seen that a few times so far this week where the tailwind has actually made the disc react more understable. And it's just like goes against everything we know as disc golfers. This green is just too grabby. There's no way. Yeah, it's going to be out of bounds for Garrett. But when that starts happening, when your tailwind putts lift and when your headwind putts drop and your tailwind drives turn over, it just makes you question, like, do I actually know what's going to happen on this next shot?
Vegas is a funny place because Every year in practice, I see people just free-flowing and having the best time ever, and as soon as the tournament starts, you realize that every single green is on the slopiest OB everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this upshot you have to throw. If a
Wow.
little thing goes wrong, that could go OB. See, you don't know
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And what happens is it stresses you out. You're seeing the best putters in the world. You see, that's not his regular follow-through. The best putters in the world are struggling. We saw Paul miss. We saw him miss a couple ones, hit the band, make it.
Yep.
I mean, this place is just absolutely, I feel like, might be the hardest greens to putt on all year.
Yeah, a lot of pressure for
Yes.
sure.
Gannon, one of 4 players in the field. And this is a big field. We got 119 players. 4 players in the field to 2 hole 5. And this is with a tailwind. This is the
Wow.
great win that you want to be going for this hole. I mean,
I'm pretty shocked it's that low. Just it's just hard to make putts.
Cameron Messerschmidt, Anthony Barella, and Tyler Wozniak are the other 3 players. Congrats to you guys for the stellar birdie there.
On to hole 6, par 4, 759 feet with out-of-bounds cart path left and private property line on the right. You want to get over that dry area on the right side that you can see here. Kind of if you get all the way back to the grass again, you're probably pretty happy with your shot. And then you're just working it in here. The basket is up on this little mound and guarded by 1 tree. Gannon kind of yanks this over.
Went for the 360. Is that the biggest palm tree you've ever seen in your life?
This is maybe the biggest drive I've seen in my life.
Did you?
It doesn't look like anything crazy, but that's what's so good about it is that it's cutting the corner. A lot of players want to throw the big high shot, and it usually stalls and goes about 60 to 70 feet left of where Paul's is. But because he went more directly towards the pin, he really cut the hole down. And he's also just got a huge arm. So
Yeah.
put those 2 things together, and you got yourself a A1 drive. And this is about what you're going to see from most players. And that's the 500 sign. You're getting pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Did you pinch on that tree?
No, not too bad.
Oh,
I'm guessing 350 in.
Yeah, I think my caddy ranged it at 360. You're a hell of a commentator.
yeah, but did you guys see this stupid palm tree that Gannon threw to?
Well,
It's so big.
yeah, it is.
So Gannon's drive is closer to the pin than you.
Well, we kind of had a little discussion. He said, I got to
Okay.
think about it a while. I said,
Okay,
okay, I'll
I'll go.
I know what I want to do.
Good approach. You're going to find yourself at about 30, just inside 30.
We did. He got a pretty good kick out, to be honest. And this
Look
is
at
a
this
little too
awkward.
stally, but, he had a place to swing his arm at least.
And is that going OB left?
No, it's fine. It's just kind of out
Okay.
in the field.
All right.
We did realize before this round, not that it's too much of a shock, I suppose, but I am 20 years and 3 days Gannon
3
senior.
days.
20 full years older than him.
Gannon's birthday is May 1st, I guess.
Nope, that's not how math works, but
Aren't you May the 4th?
I am.
3 days? Oh, so he's May the 7th.
Yeah, now we're
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. I went the wrong direction with that.
Yeah.
But I know your birthday, so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
no, I credit you. So yeah, this is Gannon just attacking.
Jeez,
Amazing
what an aggressive
effort.
run on the elevated basket, and it's got a low ceiling too. Those
Yeah.
limbs on that tree obstruct the 30-footers, and he's 60,
Yeah, incredible.
if not farther. Garrett drawing air there. It's going to be on the right side, probably just outside the bullseye.
Wind annoying me here.
Oh, over the top. Did you just ask if it's OB? Oh, if it's still me. Yeah, okay.
Still me. Probably least favorite thing to say of all the things I've ever tried saying.
Yeah, YSO, they say.
Yeah.
You're still out.
Yeah, that one hurt. Just to turn a pretty reasonable birdie opportunity into a bogey.
Well, really good approach from back there.
Yeah, I was happy with that. And the wind wasn't that bad, like when Gannon ran his. But that's how it goes. Sometimes you catch a gust and you don't deal with it well, and you give yourself more work than you need to.
Well, back-to-back birdies for you, negated by back-to-back bogeys, and now you are even. And McBeth, Gannon are at 2 under, and
McBeth with a really nice birdie there. That drive made the approach so short. He made that one simple.
And we've got a new feature for you guys here, the UDISC leaderboard check-in. So we've got some live scores around the course. Adam Hammis was at the top score at 6 under.
I think Kevin Jones in the clubhouse at 7.
At 7, okay.
And we see some other guys finished up at 4. Some decent scores, but yeah, you'd think if anybody can push into those double digits, that's going to be fantastic.
The wind was quite heavy early. It lightened up throughout the day. So when I was on the course, which was about an hour and a half before you, the hot score in was, I believe, 4 under. And you could see those scores getting a little bit lower throughout the day. So we'll see what this card is able to produce.
Hole 7, par 3, 315. This is a new addition to the course. Pretty nice change, I think. Just a little gap shot, hyzer. You can do like maybe a flex shot if you want with an overstable driver. Most people are going to go putter to mid-range right down this tube right here. Let's see if McBeth can do it. Yeah, it looks like he did it as good as you can do it.
Gosh, he made that gap, and that angle looks so easy. You have an incredibly low ceiling right off the tee here, so there's no chance to go over the top. It has to be a low shot, either the out wide skip, which we're going to see from Gannon, or what McBeth did.
Yeah, I love how low Paul was able to keep that. Gannon throws this a little wider than I think he wanted to, but enough skip, and that's the key.
Yeah,
Get back in bounds.
You'll take pin high for sure on this one. With the tailwind, it seems like it's been really hard for players to get this disc with the backhand gap through the gap without it pushing too far right. And so nice to see Garrett and McBeth pick the right disc, throw the right angle and speed.
How overstable is this that you're
This is
throwing?
a brand new X-Cal, so fairly overstable for sure.
I didn't initially like the height, but you just barely got underneath those outermost limbs, and a very good result in the end. Were you trying to go a little bit lower than that, or was that the height that you were looking for?
A little lower, I think, because you don't really want to be. You'd rather be dodging the trunks. This is a fantastic putt from Garrett. There's not a lot of space between the branches of the trees, but if you can come in low, there is a little bit of room.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden you see that wind pick up again.
No, that was too low to spit out. I understood the 1-on-3 a bit. This one, that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a great putt from Gannon.
It was right about this moment when I thought, have I made my last putt? Will I ever make another putt? Hard to know. That's 3 in a row from about 20 feet.
5 putts in the last 10 minutes for you is not a good feeling.
We're trending. I think I went back to my caddy and I said, this thing is taking a dark turn.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of feeling all right after the beginning, but really some poor putting.
Not a bogey, but feels like a bogey in a way.
Yeah.
This hole can be a bogey quick. There is just nothing to slow the disc down aside from this one hill in front of the basket. This green can be definitely a problem if you're trying to play that short shot to slide it up, because that green, they are very catchy. But most players with this low ceiling are probably going to go fairway driver, maybe even mid-range. But there's nothing on the backside of this green to slow the disc from going out of bounds over that sidewalk.
All about angle control here.
Absolutely. McBeth going low. This is going to catch edge and is going to skip hyzer.
Yeah, he didn't get that flat.
He did get the distance control nice, though. That's not going to have enough. What? Wow, that barely hung on.
Yeah, and that's blind to us. So I was wondering how close that got, and it did kind of get a little kiss of pavement.
This is flat, but I don't think this is going to work
I think
either.
Garrett's going fairway driver here, and I'm surprised to not see him go mid-range as well as he throws mids, but he puts the brakes on right at the last second as well.
You really want to see somebody get it in the Anheuser position on this.
Yeah,
if
watch
they get
this one.
Yep, that's Anheuser. I like that.
Super overstable, mid-range.
And it does check up nicely. Wow.
But look at the weird way it moves with all that tailwind as it switches angle, and then it just picks up speed.
And another fairway driver here going high-speed fairway Thunderbird.
Got it in the Anheuser a little bit.
I like that you got it low and flat. This has good potential to slide forward. That's going to get you right around circle's edge.
A little
Oh, no.
outside.
Okay.
I thought it would slide more forward.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the same page with you guys, but yeah, it didn't really do it.
4 drives and bounds is rare, I feel, on hole 8. I don't think many groups probably had 4 safe.
Yeah, they like to build these little, what would you call that?
Platform.
Little platform for
Yeah.
the baskets, because you could just put it on top of the hill. That would be just fine.
No.
Yeah,
But
they're not
no,
that nice.
On
they
the
want to.
downslope.
Yeah, let's put it on the downslope of the backside, where the out of bounds is.
Makes it a little bit nicer for Gannon, but
You were talking about your putting not being very good. I don't think this card has been very good at putting.
well,
Yeah.
who's putting well today? I mean,
Probably somebody.
There's some people that are pretty good putters out there.
there might be somebody who's not missing any putts,
guessing
but because
Kevin
they
Jones?
probably laid up very close. No one's just making a bunch of 25-footers today. You know, it's just eventually you're going to get spit out like Gannon, or it's just going to lift or drop unexpectedly.
Kevin Jones is 100% in the circle.
That is very nice.
I don't know.
He's
We
done.
need to go deeper with our stats for that to mean a lot.
He
to
made
me.
all of them,
I get you, but I mean,
and he shot 7 under par, so he probably had some.
He probably made some good putts. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I do feel like it'd be nice to actually know what the average, and not just like their average where they take the 11 to 22 and say, oh, that was a 16-foot putt. Because if it's an actually 22-foot putt, that's a lot more impressive than a 12-foot putt, obviously.
All right, hole 9, things get a bit weird. That little strip between the rocks, that's all out of bounds now. So that little walkway is your only gateway into the green that's fair territory. So I don't know that many people are trying to make a 2 here. This is perhaps a bridge too far.
It's a bridge to hole 10 is all it is to me. I feel like this one is...
Well, you could do
Don't
your
really
little
understand the
sidearm
concept.
and make a putt or something.
Little sidearm.
Well, your guys' little sidearm.
No, this is not little.
Into the headwind that we've got here, this is just a no birdie hole.
Pretty much. This is a little straight, but stays in bounds. This is a hard hole to par, in my opinion, in these conditions.
Yeah, kind of like hole, we'll see it on the back 9, but hole 14, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one on this course where it's like, yeah, into the headwind.
I just think it's hard to get the drive pin high here into this headwind, and then the approach is just nasty. You're going over that little strip of OB. All the palms and pines are right there.
Yeah.
Here's what a fairly well-known forehand player can do, about 100 short at least.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm not going for the green, but I'm not throwing it soft either.
I got to give props to Greg Barsby on my card, who actually went for it.
Wow.
Didn't know there was out of bounds up there. Found out the hard way because he didn't practice the course. Oh my gosh. Paul almost throwing that in from a $180.
He's fortunate because that's probably OB long. I mean, this is an island green. I don't think he meant to give it quite that much.
Was that a good break right there?
The fact that it didn't drop down into the OB, I think he was clear of the OB.
Okay.
This is like stressful right here. I'm trying to go through this little gap over OB.
I think we were in the same spot. I knew
Yeah.
exactly how it's not as easy as you'd like it to be.
It's very easy to see it in your mind's eye going wrong.
To finish the story with Greg, excuse me,
Yes.
he made the putt for 3. So he essentially did it in 2 strokes.
Oh, out the back?
No, not out the back. He went OB short.
Okay.
But he made like a 45-footer through
Wow.
the gap. And Gannon, now you can officially say this is a little bit of a struggle bus. These misses are starting to get in his head.
Yeah.
Well, you know, even people like Kevin Jones are probably out there missing
Oh,
those.
jeez. 0 birdies on hole 9.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
When I said this
at
is a
all.
0 birdie hole, I didn't actually know that no one birdied
Yeah.
it until I looked down in the
Yeah.
stats, and not a single birdie on the day.
I played with Austin Turner, who's a really good lefty player, and he
yeah.
threw it to the gap, like right there on the path, just in bounds. So he had that 30-footer, and he almost made it. He was about an inch low. It was lifting.
He found that little tiny safe
Yeah,
area. Oh my
yeah.
goodness, that's a good break. Wow. Okay, so Kevin Jones, he is done with his round at this point. 7 under, still the hot round. There are some scores that could catch him. Scott Withers out there with a few holes to play. He is at 6 under.
Luke with still 6 to go at 6 under. Fantastic.
Brody 5 after 11. Very good start.
Don't forget, Scott Withers had a really good showing at this event last year. He likes these courses. He seems to come off the offseason with a lot of good games. So
Scott Withers doesn't really do the off season. Scott Withers just puts 1060s on lock all winter long, as far as I can tell. He doesn't really lay down for much of a break.
Paul Ulibarri gets in with a 2 under. Really good.
how long does this leaderboard scroll down? Because I don't know if we're going to see one of the
commentators. You just haven't teed
names.
Off yet.
Oh, I've teed off. I'm pretty teed off too.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be right back with the back 9 from round 1 at the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova.